That includes a 31-6 GNAC mark and winning the 2016-2017 GNAC regular season and conference championship titles. Fans, first up, Shake and Blake Fernandez. Blake has been a role model and a model teammate. He's also a fierce competitor, and in his 3 seasons with the program, he was a key member of the GNAC Championship last season. He ran the point down the stretch and has been a passionate program player, pushing his team and teammates to get better. He has appeared in 69 games as a Viking, and joining Blake today on the court, his mother Amy, brother Lance, and Uncle Rodrigo. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Mountain Lake Terrace, number 2, Shake and Blake Fernandez. Up next, fans, BK3 Brett Kingma. Brett is a 4-year member of the program, and the sharpshooter has been hitting 3-pointers for the last 3 years on this court. When Brett steps on the floor, opposing teams only have one thing to say, and that's watch the shooter. Brett has appeared in 78 career games for the Viking, connecting on 104 3-pointers and shooting over 42% from beyond the arc. Joining Brett today, his mother Gail and father Greg. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Mill Creek, Washington, BK3 Brett Kingma. Up next, fans, it's the Energizer Brad Wallace. Brad Wallace is a fan favorite and a spark plug off the bench. This throwback can always be counted on to get the rebound, make the extra pass, dive on the floor after the loose ball, or even drive the lane for a game-winning layup as he did earlier this season versus Northwest Nazarene. Brad has appeared in 84 career games over the last 3 seasons for the Viking, making 6 starts. He scored a career-high 19 points last season versus Central Washington University when he went 7 for 13 from the field. Joining Brad on the court today will be his mother Terry, father Aaron, and his girlfriend Annie. Fans, this is the Energizer Brad Wallace. Our final senior will recognize tonight big, cool Deandre Dickson. In his 2 years in a Viking uniform, there has been no shortage of block shots, fadeaway jumpers, and monster dunks when Deandre has been on the court. A dynamic player in every possible way, Deandre has made a major impact on the program since transferring in a couple of seasons ago. He has appeared in 47 games with the Vikings, averaging 14.3 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, and 1.47 blocks per game. Deandre is recognized as a great teammate, tremendous competitor, and an unselfish leader, and we are definitely glad he chose Western Washington University as his school of choice. Joining Deandre on the court today will be the Dunham family. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for big, cool Deandre Dickson. Fans, one more time, put your hands together. Show your love for Shake and Blake Fernandez, BK3 Brett Kingma, the Energizer Brad Wallace, and big cool Deandre Dickson. Fans are going to give the players about 3 more minutes to warm back up, and then it will be game time. Fans, it's time now to meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. First to meet the visitors, the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 3, Jalen McCullough. At forward, a 6'4" junior, number 21, Alex Bayham. At guard, a 5'11" junior, number 31, Trey Eisenhunt. At forward, 6'7" junior, number 35, Joe Lindway. And at forward, a 6'7" sophomore, number 40, Michael Cluding. Alaska Fairbanks is coached by Mick Durham. He is assisted by Bobby Howard. All right, 6-man. This is your chance to show your love. It's time now to meet the starting lineup for your Vikings. At guard, a 6'6" junior, number 5, Trey Drexel. At center, 7' junior, number 15, Logan Shielder. At forward, a 6'9" senior, number 23, Deandre Dickson. 6'7" sophomore forward, number 24, Trevor Jasinski. And at guard, a 6'8" sophomore, number 25, Dalton Hummus. Your Vikings are coached by Tony Dominguez. He is assisted by David Dunham, Bob Hofstetter, Otavio Jude, and Skyler Gillespie. 6-man, it's game time!
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Carver Gymnasium. It is time for Western Washington University basketball as the Vikings square off against the Nanooks out of Fairbanks, Alaska. Home white jerseys for Western with the dark blue and light blue trim and numerals. It is the dark black jerseys with the blue, yellow, and white trim and numerals for Alaska Fairbanks. Getting ready to jump it up, it will be senior forward Deandre Dickson. He will jump it up against Michael Cluding, the 6'6" sophomore out of Palmer, Alaska. We await the tip, and we are underway. Doug Lang with you here on Vikings TV. And the tip is won here by Trey Drexel and Western. They immediately dump it down inside to Dalton Hummus, and he'll get tied up. And a good job that time by Michael Cluding to come in and wrap up that basketball and force the first turnover of our contest, as the ball will belong now to Alaska Fairbanks. Dribbled up, Jalen McCullough, the transfer out of Peninsula College, to the sophomore. Swing it back out on top. Trey Eisenhunt. Right side, back to McCullough. Two-play catch out on top. Get it back now here, left side. They'll kick it on top, around the circle. It'll end up through Bayham. Now back over left, and the jumper up by Lendway will not go. Rebound cleared by Western. Long push pass down left-hand side. Jasinski leave it now back out on top through Deandre into the hands of Trey. Back to Trevor once again. Still don't have a bucket. Played almost a minute here. Trey through 2 defenders. Leave it for Logan Schilder, and he'll flip it up and in with a left hand. Schilder gets it to go. Top of the floor now here for Fairbanks. Eisenhunt with it, and now we have a whistle off the ball here. The foul here is going to go against the Vikings. Stops the clock with 18:51 left to go here. Opening half play here, 2-0 our score. You watch the only bucket of our ball game, and that is Trey flipping it up ahead and Logan putting it up and in. Foul a moment ago, whistled against Hummus, his first on the inbound. Back left, they'll dump it down inside the circle, turning and jump hooking it up and in is Cluding. Cluding ties us up at 2. Trey, top of the floor, goes right side, puts it in the hands of Jasinski. Circle it back out to Hummus. Hamas will work left off of a hard screen by Deandre. Back out to Dickson. The big man will take the three. Got it. Deandre Dickson. A little bit of a show there for the bench, the Western bench, as he runs back down the other way. Big smile on his face. Back out on top, Eisenhut. Leave it left. Kluding. Right side on the cut. Bayham steps back, jumper way off. Had Schilder in his face. And that is a lot of player in the 7-footer. Leave it right. Hamas tries to drive. Two defenders right there. They'll bounce it right off of the knee or mark that thigh that time of Hamas, and it goes out of play. Back up the other way now here for Alaska Fairbanks. Ball comes right-hand side. McCullough on the dribble over to the baseline. On the switch, Logan is out on him. That means they try and force it down inside the paint to Lendway. It's tipped up into the air, back out right side. The drive by McCullough. Baseline blocked by Dickson. It'll be grabbed off by McCullough, but he'll throw it away. Jasinski will race down the other way. Lost control of the basketball. Shovel it over left-hand side. The drive here, Dickson got bumped. He followed through, made the shot, but the foul, I think, will be on the floor. It will. 17:23 left to go here in the first half. The foul will get whistled against Bayham. On the inbound, Jasinski. Shovel it back over to Trey. Between the wickets, he'll work off of the screen by Dickson. Step into the jumper from three-point land, no good. Jalen McCullough, the sophomore out of Fairbanks, transfer out of Peninsula, will leave it right-hand side. The step back, the three by Eisenhut will not go. Rebound, Karam's out, but Alaska Fairbanks will get it. The long jumper, that one's no good by Kluding. Neither team very effective here through the first 3 minutes and change of this opening half. It's just 5-2. Trey winds right. Leaves it now for Jasinski, who barks a little bit at Deandre. Move, move, move. Bounce pass comes left. Hamas double team. Back out Jasinski. Pump fakes. Drives. Gets to the free throw line. Back out to Dickson. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He'll take the long jumper. Got another one! Deandre, I think every game he ends up on his wallet somehow like that. It doesn't matter if you drain it. 8-2. And Deandre maybe has the best celebration off of a three ball. That's not including Sion Rojas, who sometimes gets in trouble for his. 8-2. Back around left, three ball up, back iron, no, will not go on the effort for Lendway. And we'll have a whistle and a foul. It is going to go against Alaska Fairbanks. Kluding will pick it up. It is his first, second team foul. Glad to have you watching along here on Vikings TV. Split doubleheader here today. Our nightcap, the Western women, taking on Northwest Nazarene. The lob pass, and that time just a little bit behind Logan, and he has it go off the rim. Back down the other way. It's 5-on-4 and an advantage here for Alaska as it's off of the glass, up and in for Bam. Trey gonna drive, gets down inside the lane, scoop with the left hand, no good. Logan gets the rebound, up fakes, and gets fouled. And the big man, Logan Schilder, will go to the free throw line, but not before we have a media timeout. 8-4 our score here, 15:28 left to go in the first half. Vikings out in front of the Nanooks. Back with more right here on Vikings TV.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Welcome back to it. 8-4 our score here. You take a look at the Alaska Fairbanks bench. Mick Durham, the longtime head coach there, as his team comes back out on the floor. They trail the Vikings. It's Western 8-4 over Alaska Fairbanks. Fairbanks coming in 10-13, 8-9 in the GNAC. Their last outing, they got drubbed by Simon Fraser Thursday night up in Burnaby. They're still in the chase. There's 3 playoff spots still available in the GNAC Championships. Get underway in the 1st of March as a shot is missed by Logan Schilder. Top 3 spots have been claimed so far here: Western Oregon, Western Washington University, and St. Martin's. Vikings want to stay in front of St. Martin's, get that bye with the number 2 position. 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 9-4. Back up on the offensive end here for Fairbanks. On the drive, the lob pass will come down right into the hands now of Lendway. Back out, top of the floor, Clutie. Leave it left, McCullough. He'll cross down towards the lane, sealed off along the baseline. Back out, Clutie. Now, we had a problem here with the shot clock. The shot clock reset without the buzzer going off. And we could immediately popping up off of the bench was Coach Tony Dominguez, and he was wondering what was going on there, but clearly the shot clock reset without sounding. Then I think the manual operator hit the buzzer horn to alert everybody, but now they're tending to it here on the scores table, and the officials are going to the video monitor just to make sure that they have the accurate amount of time on the clock and shot clock. Coach Tony Dominguez will use this opportunity to talk to his team. The 1987-88 NAIA District 1 Championship team, Western Men's Vikings squad, with then Coach Brad Jackson, will be honored at halftime. Got an opportunity to catch up with some of the players and the coach earlier in the Western Hall of Fame room before the start of this game, and good to see the Tim Dickersons, Manny Kimmies, Ray Utzies, you name it, Eric Shermans, Sean Bovenkamps of the world. Even a video. James, the big Earl. James could not get here, and James Johnson, and he sent a video just espousing his love for that team that just captured everybody and really helped put Brad Jackson in his 3rd year of coaching on the map. So after all of that, 14:30 on the clock, and now the official will go back and take a look at the monitor once again to make sure that everything is okay time-wise. But once again, that team will be honored coming up at halftime. If you were watching earlier, you also saw 4 seniors get honored. Deandre Dickson, you see him with the headband on here, one of that 4-pack that was honored, playing their final game here at Carver Gymnasium, along with Brad Wallace, Brett Kingma, and Blake Fernandez. So they continue to work on this. Shot clock it's 14:56 on the game clock, 0 on the shot clock. And as they continue to take a look at it here and try and figure out exactly where they want to be. But now they'll bring both coaches over, and the officials will you can see it winding down here, down to 5. Yep, and then there's a problem. So it reset, so it went down to what appeared to be either 4 or 3 before resetting, and went to 40, so some kind of mechanical error with the shot clock itself. And now see Coach Tony Dominguez walking away, and now they'll reset things. So 14:56 on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock. Both McDurham and Tony Dominguez have already talked to the officials about all of this. Vikings with it now on the offensive end. The drive, the kick, down inside the lane, the spin by Jasinski, back out top of the floor. It'll end up now here in the hands of Hamas. Inside Dickson, he'll turn, dump it down towards the paint, spinning through. Hamas will jump, hook it up and in, got the friendly roll, and it goes. 11-4 our score. Just across the timeline, McCullough shovels it back out on top. Just into the ball game, Davis Kimball, the junior guard out of Hayward, California. They'll dump it down inside the paint, backing, bumping, including will put it up with the right hand, and it goes. Michael Cluting with the bucket. Right side for Trey. Inside of 14 minutes to go here in the first half. Get it now left wing. Jasinski rattles home a three. Trevor Jasinski with the three ball from the left side, 14-6. Vikings stretching some things out here. Between the wickets with the dribble. LaDonovan Wilder, the senior out of Oakland, California, is in. He'll leave it for McCullough, a three, bang. McCullough pumping his fist as he runs back down the other way. Hits that three ball, makes it 14-9. Dalton swings it now to Deandre. Well beyond the circle, back out on top. Catch going to be made here by Trey. Trey going to put it on the floor and drive baseline. Turns, spin, he got fouled. So Drexel will go to the free throw. Or nope, they're going to call it on the floor. That foul will go against Davis Kimball, his first, fourth team foul. Lobbed in right side. Quickly they'll get it right back into the post as Schilder came out high and bounced it into Hamas, and another foul. Alex Baham will pick it up, the junior out of Wasilla, Alaska. Gets whistled for his second, so he will come out of the ball game. And you see his replacement coming in. That is Amenephis Mitchell, the junior out of Missouri City, Texas. Dickson puts it on the floor, bounces into the defender, turns, scissor kicks one up, it won't go. Schilder with the putback, and that one comes up short, but he got fouled, and Logan will go back to the free throw line. The big man is 1 of 2 from the stripe here today. You watch the good rebound here. He goes up and gets it right on the arm as he left it just a little bit short, but had some help. First shot up and good. Schilder on the year, shooting just 47% from the line. Got the first, the second is good. The reverse whammy. McCullough up into the offensive end, Vikings by 7. Right side, McCullough will drive baseline, got caught up in the air, flips it over to the corner. It'll come back out on top. Baham will leave it right side, mark that. That is Wilder that leaves it now for the cutter down inside the paint. That is Baham, left-hand side. Mitchell, back over right wing, high drive to the bucket, counted and one for LaDonovan Wilder. The senior, the transfer out of San Francisco City College, will have a chance here for a three-point play. So Sion Rojas will check in now here for the Vikings, as you also see Cluting go to the bench for Alaska. You watch the drive here by Mitchell all the way to the cup, whacked on the arm, got the friendly roll. And the free throw shot is good for Wilder. 4-point lead for Western. Rojas leave it out on top now here on the catch. Drexel Jasinski, now they'll swing it left to Hamas. Dalton going to put it on the floor, go behind the back, up fake, got it to pass the defender, missed the shot, got his own, put it back up and in. Dalton Hamas stretches the lead out to 6. Ball shoveled on top, almost stolen away by Dickson as it gets knocked loose by Lenway. Leave it to McCullough. Back out Lenway, right-hand side. Catch made by Kimball. Working against Jasinski. They'll force it down towards the paint. Lenway has it blocked. Knocked out of there. Grabbed off by Jasinski. Outlet pass right. Trey, a 3. No, won't go. Rebound to Joe Lenway. A transfer out of Kansas City Community College, the junior. Leave it for McCullough. On the weave, Kimball. Back and forth between he and Lenway. Now to McCullough. Swing it over left-hand side. Mitchell. Wilder working against Dickson. Picks up his dribble down to 5 on the shot clock. McCullough realizes it here. Going to work off of the screen. Take the 3. No, won't go. And it glances out of bounds. And that will lead us to a media timeout. 11:09 left to go here in the first half. Vikings by 6 over the Nanooks of Alaska Fairbanks. Back with more right here on Vikings TV.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
(18-12) our score. The Vikings out in front of the Nanooks of Alaska Fairbanks. Vikings shooting 6 of 12 from the floor, 50%, 3 of 5, 60% from long range. They have held Alaska Fairbanks to 5 of 14 shooting, just 36%, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc, 16%. Beyond the circle, Hamas will try a 3. That one won't go. Rebound tips out long. Grabbed off here by Fairbanks. Racing down is Mitchell. He'll leave it back out on top for McCullough. And McCullough will set up shop as he winds to the right, picked up by Jasinski. Leave it now here in the hands of Zach Hatch, just into the, or mark that. That is Kimball, who came through the lane, kick it back out left. McCullough, another 3. His second of the ball game. And it's 18-15. Drive right, Jasinski. Through Rojas, back out Dickson. He'll try another 3. No, that one's off. 2 of 3 from long range for the senior. McCullough works left. Wilder. Back out to Lenway, almost knocked loose and stolen, but McCullough will track it down. He'll race right, leave it left for a 3 ball that won't go. Off the iron on the attempt by Kimball. It bounces back out. Trey will reset defensively here as he works against McCullough. Back out top of the floor. Kimball. Coming up on 10 on the shot clock to Lenway. And the backdoor cut along the baseline. Lenway thought that time that Wilder was going to come up. He threw it that direction. Instead, Wilder dipped down and goes out of bounds. Substitution. Brad Wallace in. Logan Schilder in. To the bench will go Trevor Jasinski and Deandre Dickson. Wallace, one of the seniors being honored here tonight, playing their final game. 4 seniors here at Carver Gymnasium. three ball left side. Dalton Hamas drains it. Lead back out to 6 at 21-15. The drive left, the kick. Back around the circle. On the grab. Kimball, right side. Catch made here by Mitchell. Cuts down inside the paint. Flips it up with the left hand. No good. Rebound pulled down by Trey in between two defenders, and a foul given up here by the Nanooks. And Trey has played his best campaign of his 3 years here for the Vikings. He comes in averaging 15.2 points per ball game, second on the squad. He leads the team in rebounding at 7.2 per contest, as well as assists at just under 4.1 per ball game. Front end of the 1-and-1 is no good, and the lead stays at 6. Yo-yoed on top. Ball will end up now in the hands of Wilder. He'll get rid of it. Lendway back to Wilder. Off balance with his jumper, but he got it to go right in front of Logan Schilder. The lead is 4. Between the wickets. The drive by Rojas to the cup. Sion left it short on the finger roll. Rebound cleared here by Fairbanks. Mitchell. Leave it for McCullough. Back to Mitchell once again. McCullough directing traffic to Mitchell. Shuffled his feet. Yeah, he traveled. Mitchell was wondering what to do there. Thought about the three, thought about the drive, tried to do a little bit of both, and turns it over. That turnover, just the second of the contest for the Nanooks. 2 so far for the Vikings as well. Doug Lang along with you here on Vikings TV. Normally with Butch Kamina, but on the road is Butch, and we'll see him next week. The bucket, will that count? No, they'll wipe out the bucket, the foul before the shot here by Hamas. The foul will go against LaDonovan Wilder. It'll be his second. So the 1-and-1 upcoming. And now the first free throw is made, and into the ball game. Local flavor here. Dalton Lutens for Alaska Fairbanks. Lutens, the junior out of Linden, a transfer out of Whatcom Community College, out here for Fairbanks. Second free throw shot is good. Dalton Hamas gets them both. Lendway on top, Kimball. Leave it right, McCullough. The retreat to the top of the floor. On a bounce, it comes to Lendway. Leave it left-hand side. The cut right at the free throw line. Shovel it back out, Lutens. Left side, McCullough working against Wallace. Back out, Lendway. Steps back for a three. Shot it long. Rebound to Hamas. Dalton on the push. Going to cut. Ram right into the defender that time. And it's going to be an offensive foul here against Dalton Hamas. Standing his ground and paying the price for it was Davis Kimball to draw the foul. And that will lead us to a media timeout. 7:29 left to go here in the first half. Vikings by 6 over Alaska Fairbanks, 23-17. Back with more right here on Vikings TV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
7 minutes, 29 seconds left to go here until halftime. Vikings out in front by 6 over Alaska Fairbanks. Western led by the 9 points of Dalton Hamas. 6 from Deandre Dickson. For Fairbanks, they are led by the 6 of Jalen McCullough. 5 in the ball game for LaDonovan Wilder. McCullough up in the offensive end. Swings it left. Trying to force the pass was Mitchell. It bounces off a defender. It's tracked down by McCullough at half court. He'll work left. Stop beyond the arc. Leave it now. Lendway a 3. No, back iron won't go. Rojas the rebound. Sion will slow it down. Leave it now for Trey in the offensive end. The drive by Trey, spinning down inside the paint. What a great job. Trey started right, spun back around inside the lane and put it up and in. First points of the ball game for Trey. Left-hand side, the drive, baseline, the step-back jumper. That one won't go for Kimball. Rebound cleared here by the Vikings. Dickson back out there with Trey. Ooh, now he'll drive right into the defender, and Dickson looking for a foul, nothing forthcoming. McCullough races up left, going to cut towards the baseline, through the lane, bounces it back out. Luton's to the cup, kicks it to the corner. Lenway back out McCullough. Coach Tony Dominguez not happy with the lack of call on the previous offensive possession for the Vikings, having a long chat with one of our officials. The drive by Luton's down inside the lane, and the former Linden standout gets it knocked out of bounds by Deandre Dickson. Deandre did a little bit of everything in Thursday's victory. As you watch this block right here, goes up with the right hand, swats it out of bounds. The win on Thursday over Anchorage, 17 points, 7 boards, 3 steals, 2 blocks in the victory. Trevor Jasinski into the contest. Sion Rojas will go to the bench. Back left on the catch. Ball knocked loose, and now the quick spin. It's going to be a shot clock violation. Catching it, thinking he was going to just put it up and in from three-point land was Alex Baham, and nowhere close. Good defense by the Vikings. Drexel up into the offensive end, swings it right. Catch made by Jasinski. He's going to put it on the floor. Drive baseline, sealed off. Back out 3. Big man Schilder can't get it to go. Rebound saved by Jasinski. Get it to Logan. He'll take it to the rack. Offensive foul. And Lendway stays down on the floor. Very slow to get up. Nope. Mark that. Not Lendway. That was Davis Kimball. Kimball that took the punishment, but that was the second time he has drawn a charge here tonight. Going to be the second foul against Schilder, so he'll come out. And the Vikings will go smaller. Brett Kingma, the senior, will check into the ball game. 3-point shooting star out of Mill Creek. Ball knocked loose. Kick to the corner. Long 3 ball up. That one won't go from the left side for Baham. Rebound pulled down by Kingma. Here comes Trey back the other way. He'll cut down inside the paint. Kick it right. Jasinski fakes the 3. Back out Trey, left side. They'll spin it around. Wallace open, 3 ball. No, shot it long. Trey the rebound. Pump fakes, goes up, gets fouled. The shot won't go, but Trey will return to the free throw line. Second and third trips to the stripe tonight for Trey. Missed his only opportunity earlier. (25-17). And that one drops home. So Trey, 1 of 3 from the line. Davis Kimball returns to the action now here for Alaska. Yo-yoing the dribble is Mitchell. Leaves it out on top, gets it right back into the hands of Kimball, who will cut down inside the lane, and How about that? Trey Drexel returns the favor here. Davis Kimball gets the offensive charge. He had drawn 2 of those against the Vikings already in this contest, and now commits the offensive foul himself. Drexel, left to right, steps back inside the circles. He'll airball that one. Rebound tipped and saved from going out of bounds by Wallace. Dickson will get it. Oh my! Deandre muscles one up, falling awkwardly to his left along the baseline, and it's up and in. Timeout going to be taken here by Alaska Fairbanks. 28-17 our score. Vikings out in front by 11 as you watch Deandre Dickson float one home. Back with more on Vikings TV.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
28-17 our score. The lead is 11 here for Western Washington University over Alaska Fairbanks. The Nanuks with the timeout. Back out for the Vikings. Jasinski, Wallace, Dickson, Drexel, and Brett Kingma. Left side, Davis, a 3. No, that one won't go. Rebound into the hands now here of Dickson. Trey will bring it across the timeline. He'll cut to the left, leave it for Jasinski. Back out to Kingma. To Wallace as he drives, changes hands, off glass and good. Brad Wallace stretches this lead out for the Vikings to 13. LaDonovan Wilder, left side. This Fairbanks team is on the outside looking in for the playoffs right now in the 7th spot. The miss, the rebound here for the Vikings. Behind the back with the dribble. Trey will leave it for Dickson. Back around the circle. Kingma tried to get it inside to Dickson. It got kicked by the defender. And now we'll have a substitution. Coming in will be Blake Fernandez, and he'll be back out there on the floor after the media timeout. 3:35 left to go until halftime. 30-17. Vikings up big over Alaska Fairbanks. Back with more on Vikings TV.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
(30-17) our score here. Vikings out in front. It's not been the Vikings' traditional pace as far as points, but they're familiar with this slowdown style. They were in a slowdown affair Thursday night, 66-56, a winner over Alaska Anchorage. And off of the inbound, Deandre Dickson picks up where he left off with that 17-point game-high performance on Thursday. He rolls left to right and puts it up and in. He's the first player to double figures with 10. By the way, for those concerned, Butch just texted me. He is on the road. He is listening to the stream and says everything sounds good. I assure him everything looks good as well. 32-17, ball knocked out of bounds. Shoveled back out on top. On the catch, McCullough gets it back, steps inside the three-point ring, won't take the triple. Instead, they'll force it down inside the paint. Cluting lost control of it, double team, back out left, pump fake. Eisenhut, the shot, no, won't go. Rebound tipped, grabbed off by Dickson. 2:50 left to go here until halftime. That 1987-88 NAI District 1 championship team will be honored at halftime. Stick around. Turnaround jumper splashed up and in for Deandre Dickson. Give him 12 in the ball game, and they have doubled up Alaska Fairbanks. Vikings 34, Nanook 17. Cut down inside the lane. The kick pass, Eisenhut, open jumper, three ball splash. Mitchell, the junior out of Missouri City, Texas, drains it. But the lead is still 14 for Western. We'll get a word in with one of the assistant coaches for the Vikings here at halftime as well, and hopefully get one of the players from that 30th anniversary team as well. Ball knocked out of bounds, goes off of the Vikings. Lendway back into the contest now here for Alaska Fairbanks. On the bounce, Eisenhut. Kick it right side, the drive baseline, the spin, hang in the air, no good on the effort that time by LaDonovan Wilder. And it will be out of bounds along the baseline, so the turnover. Just a minute 50 left to go. Right side, the catch. Ball dumped just inside the circle now here. Dickson will get it back to Wallace. He'll try the three. It won't go. Rebound cleared by Fairbanks. McCullough will wind up into the offensive end. Going to work here against Wallace. Drive baseline. Kicked it back out. Perfect pass to Trevor Jasinski. Back down the other way, and Trevor goes up, gets fouled. Going to be free throw shots upcoming. Trevor went down with an ankle injury early in Thursday's game as he twisted that right ankle. He's got a brace on that ankle right now. See the black brace on the right leg is on that ankle. He was only out for a handful of minutes, but very nice to see him come back. As you take a look at it right there, the grimace and look on his face certainly looked bad, and we're happy to see Trevor out there. Trevor does miss both free throws as we go back down the other way, 35-20. Ball left-hand side on the catch. Eisenhut through the lane, leaves it for Lendway. He tried to spin it back out to McCullough. Inside of a minute to go, the ball cross-court on the pass, tipped. Great play defensively. If you were worried about that ankle, Jasinski showed you he can fly as he went jumping into the fray here. Watch this. Hello, boink. Knocked it right out of bounds. Inbound, Lendway. On top, 5 on the shot clock. McCullough fakes the pass to the cup. The scoop layup pass. Wallace is up and good. Final 50 seconds here of this first half. Winding left. Ball shoveled now here into the hands of Jasinski. Leave it for Kingma. He'll take the three, and he got it! Brett Kingma with a deep three from the right side. Slowly dribbled up here by McCullough. And McCullough with about a second differential on the shot clock is going to slow it down. Bounce pass comes left, Lendway. Looking, kicks it topside. The catch made. Eisenhut back down inside cross court. McCullough, he'll drive, throw up the runner. That's an air ball. It's tipped out of bounds. 2.8 on the game clock, 1 second on the shot clock. It'll stay with Alaska Fairbanks on the offensive end. So look for the lob here as Michael Cluting, the 6'6 sophomore out of Palmer, Alaska, comes in. Lendway to the bench. And Trey Drexel will come in. He'll replace Kingma, so get a little more size out there. The lob, the tipped out Dickson got a hand on it as they were trying to get it to Cluting, but that will end. Actually, it won't end it. The shot clock went off, but there's 0.7. Boy, that is off as far as what the number should be there. Thankfully, they're not going to go to a video review. With 0.7 seconds, good if it goes online, but short by Wallace. 38-22 here at halftime. Vikings out in front by 6 over Alaska Fairbanks. We'll take a timeout, come back with the halftime show right here on Vikings TV.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Welcome back to Carver Gymnasium. We're at halftime, 38-22. Vikings up by 16 over Alaska Fairbanks. And now let's make sure we're all good there. Yes, we are. We get an opportunity to talk to Bob Hofstetter, assistant coach for the Vikings. And Coach, this game kind of played once again at that slow down pace that you saw Thursday against Alaska Anchorage. And I think for the most part, your guys are doing a very good job, like they did Thursday night, of staying composed defensively, kind of lasting through the long possession. And then when they get that opportunity, not trying to race down and immediately get the bucket. That's that biggest mental thing when you play these slow down type teams.
Definitely. I think that having that discipline, staying focused for the full shot clock is harder than it sounds sometimes. Our guys had a little practice last game and have done a good job this half too.
Deandre with 12 points. He has 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, 18 minutes played. He's just kind of picking up from where he left off Thursday with 17 and 7. He's really doing everything here. Not a bad way to show here on senior day.
Exactly, yeah. He's really excited to make a strong push down the stretch. He mentioned that in practice the other day, and he's really taking care of business, and he's doing that for us in all facets of the game.
Bob's second half, biggest concern, obviously up by 16 now. You're winning the battle on the boards. They've got some shooters, though. They've hit a couple of 3 balls in this one. What's the biggest concern to make sure this goes the right way in the second half?
We really preached the last 3 minutes of a half, going in with the right mentality, the right momentum, and then that next 3 minutes coming out of that half are going to be very, very important. Getting our starters back in there, guys have been sitting for a little bit. Make sure, like you said, they cover up those 3-point shooters. Don't let them back in early. It's not a huge margin by any means. We just want to continue to chip away, or I should say, build on that lead. Each little media timeout break we have, hopefully have a little more gain on that.
Bob, we wish you the best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
There you have it. Bob Hofstetter, assistant coach for the Vikings, as Western leads it here 38-22 over Alaska Fairbanks. Coming up, the 1987-88 NAIA District 1 Viking Men's Basketball Championship. Boy, I threw a lot of words in there. District 1 Championship Viking Men's Basketball team will be honored out here on the floor. First, we've got a routine here performed by the cheer squad at Carver Gymnasium. While they perform that, we'll give you a couple of the numbers here. We'll also hope to get a word in with one of the players from that 87-88 team, coached by former head man Brad Jackson, here to join us. I'll show you a few replays here as we take a look at the numbers. Vikings shooting 48% from the floor, 13 of 27, 5 of 12 from beyond the arc, 41%, and they're 7 of 11 from the free throw line, 63%. For Alaska Fairbanks, they go 31% from the floor, 9 of 29. They shoot 15 3 balls, hit just 3, 20%, and they go to the free throw line just once, and they nailed that one. 22-14 advantage Vikings on the glass, 6-4 on the offensive end. Assists and turnovers, Vikings are even, 5-5. Fairbanks upside down, 3-7. Points in the paint favor the Vikings, 12-10. Bench points favor Alaska Fairbanks, 8-5. Points off of turnovers, all Vikings, 8-0. Individual numbers look like this. It looks like this. It is 12 points for Deandre Dickson on 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from long range, 3 rebounds. 9 points for Dalton Hummus. Elsewhere, it is 5 in the ball game for Logan Schilder, 4 for Trevor Jasinski, 3 for Trey Drexel, 3 for Brett Kingma, 2 for Brad Wallace. For Alaska Fairbanks, nobody in double figures. Jalen McCullough with 8, 5 for LaDonovan Wilder, 4 in the ball game for Michael Cluding, 3 for Amenophis Mitchell, and 2 for Alex Bayham. Just one tie in this contest. Largest lead for the Vikings has been 17. It sits at 16 right now. Vikings out in front 38-22 here at Carver Gymnasium. When we return, we'll honor the 1987-88 NAI District 1 Men's Basketball Championship team here, the Vikings, with their former head coach Brad Jackson and a good bulk of that team returning here to take in this contest tonight here at Carver. 38-22, a 16-point lead for the Vikings over the Danooks of Alaska Fairbanks. Glad to have you watching along right here on Vikings TV.
Not a yes sir, not a follower. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the foyer.
Basketball seasons. The 1987-88 Vikings finished with a 28-8 record, winning the NAIA District 1 Championship and reaching the second round at the NAIA Nationals while breaking 16 school records. Western's top regular season win came at home over number 1 ranked Grand Canyon. They beat them 99-88 in overtime. Now, Grand Canyon did go on to win the national title. The Vikings did earn a trip to Kansas City with a memorable 2 out of 3 games district series win over arch rival Central Washington University. Western captured the series with a 95-84 win over the Wildcats right here at Carver Gym. Viking fans, we have some footage from that game. This will be the closing seconds of that. That was not. For those of you who didn't believe that in the Another. Forward, Eric Sherman. NAIA District 1 All-Star Guard, Tim Dickerson. And WWU Hall of Famer guard, Manny Kimmy. And of course, the head coach for that team, he was just in his 3rd season, and he would complete a 27-year career here at Western Washington University. He finished with 518 victories and a national championship. Please welcome back Brad Jackson. Viking fans, put your hands together one more time for the 1987-88 Western Washington University Vikings.
We are at halftime here, 38-22 our score. We are trying to get Tim Dickerson. And you heard the accolades for Tim with the NAIA Awards, all district, and part of that 87-88 team. We're trying to get him over to the broadcast row here and get a word in with Tim, who has gone on. He is now an assistant coach with Squalicum High School here in town, and hopefully we'll get Tim over here. Just a handful of minutes away from the start of the second half. And we'll get an opportunity to check in with Tim and see what his thoughts are about getting to catch up with everybody here from that 87-88 team and relive a little bit of the excitement as they got the opportunity to watch the video of the countdown and remember all the craziness that I remember as a student across the way wearing the basketball head and going crazy. Tim Dickerson does join me here on Vikings TV. And Tim, what's it like to, I was up there in the Hall of Fame room and everybody's kind of happy to see each other. We saw the video from the Big Earl. What's it like to get together with these guys and think 30 years ago, the craziness that happened here at Carver?
It's amazing the memories that come back so quick, like it was yesterday. But I think the big thing is just the guys I played with, there was no selfishness. Everybody got along with each other, players 1 through 12. We all hung out on the court, off the court, and just had great memories. And obviously just coached by Brad Jackson, a legend in itself. And he's just a great quality person, person of character, integrity, and good friend today. And just did a great job with our group back then.
Tim, I talked with Brad Thursday about this, that you guys had, obviously, you yourself with all the district awards, and Manny Kimmy, all-time leading scorer, James. I mean, some big-name guys there points-wise, but it was really also about a lot of those guys that came in. If you wanted grit, you wanted muscle, get Rich Baxter out there, you get Elsner scrambling on the floor. Nobody messed with Mike Dahl. Everybody seemed to have a role on that team.
We all had, each player kind of had their spot during the season, and like you say, Rich off the bench, he was your gritty, tough guy. You mentioned Rod Watley and Sherman and James and Manny, those guys, a couple of Hall of Famers that I played with back in the day, and so everybody kind of knew their role. And when people came in off the bench, like you say, Mike and Rich and Ray, and just everybody just the puzzle all fit very well together.
Tim, I got to ask you, because selfishly, I was one of those guys in the crowd. I was wearing the basketball head, and we were going crazy. We were coming here 2 hours before games to claim our spots. How nuts was this place that year? Because it was packed out seemingly for every game, and especially during the playoffs.
Central was by far our biggest game, and that final game against Central, Game 3, just unbelievable crowd. I think probably half the crowd was inebriated as well. But you knew when AC/DC came on all night long, things were setting pretty well for us the last couple of minutes.
Absolutely. Tim, it's great to see you. Great to see everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
Tim
Dickerson joining us here, courtside, 38-22. Our halftime score here, Tim Dickerson, part of that group being honored here with the 1987-88 squad under former head coach Brad Jackson. And now we turn our attention to the game at hand, and that involves the Western men taking on Alaska Fairbanks. We're at halftime, 38-22, actually the end of halftime here, with a 16-point lead for the Vikings. And Western will start with the basketball. Ball will be dribbled up into the offensive end now here by Trey as they open things up. Well outside the circle, the catch made here by Dickson. Deandre will try and bounce it in down low, cannot. And it gets bounced out of play by the defender. That one will go off of Cluting. This is the front end of a split doubleheader here today at Carver Gym. Shoveled out on top. Ball knocked loose on that long jumper, and the rebound will be cleared here by the Nanooks. We'll come back down the other way. Vikings defense simply outstanding, holding Fairbanks to just 22 points in that first half. Left side, Cluting. Back out McCullough. Cross court, right side, just inside the circle. The force pass down inside the lane. Ball knocked loose, and it's grabbed off here by Trey, but I think a foul. Nope, just stepping out of bounds that time was the big man, Logan Schilder. Quickly including to the rack, and nice play off of the stack on the inbound, including will lay it up and in with the left hand. Trey will set it up, wind it left. Catch going to be made, working off of the screen, Jasinski. Leave it now here for Logan. Right side, the dribbling done by Trey. Right back to him. He'll go baseline, lob it up, looking for Logan, and he'll flip it up and in with the right hand. 40-24. McCullough back the other way. Between the rings, left-hand side, long jumper up, good. That time from the left side for Alex Bam. Bam with 5 points now here in the contest. The dribble right, Trey between the wickets. Shovels it around the circle now here into the hands of Hamas. He'll cut down inside the lane, hang in the air, put it up, it won't go. Rebound cleared off by Alaska Fairbanks. Here comes McCullough. Winds to the middle of the floor. And now contact off the ball, and Trey's going to get whistled for this foul. It'll be his first, team's first. Inbound will come right in front of the Fairbanks bench. To McCullough once again. He'll bounce it at the right elbow. Back out, Cluting a three. No, it won't go. Rebound caroms out right into the hands of Lendway. McCullough. Double stack screen. Leaves it on top. Force it down inside the lane. Little up fake. The jump hook. No good on the effort that time by Cluting. Rebound for Western. Between the wickets for Trey. He'll cut. Pass it off of the hands that time of Dickson. He'll corral it. Back and forth between the two. Deandre gets rid of it left. The long jumper up, and that goes for Dalton Hamas. Vikings will call a timeout. 43-27 as their lead sits at 16 with 17-19 left to go here in the ball game. We'll take a break. Come back with more on Vikings TV.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
(43-27) our score. See the big man, Logan Schilder, out there with Deandre Dickson, Dalton Hamas, Trevor Jasinski, and Trey Drexel, the starters out there here with 7:19 left to go in the 17-19. Should be more exact there. Hello. McCullough, top of the floor working against Trey. He'll leave it left. The bounce pass comes down inside the lane, back out right, the three ball splash. And that one goes for Alex Baham. A good find on the pass by Cluting. Coach Dominguez talking all about defense during that last timeout, as now we see a foul given up here by Fairbanks. And Fairbanks was not bashful about shooting threes, 15 of them in the first half. McCullough picking up the foul. His first, team's first. They'll quickly get it back into Trey. He'll knock over the defender. It's going to be an offensive foul. And Coach Dominguez does not like it. He is fired up as you watch the replay here. And Trey spins into the defender. And Coach Dominguez going back to his seat, but not after he gave an earful to one of our officials. Right side after the foul, the drive here. It is Eisenhut that threw it away along the baseline. Slowly walked up here by Trey. Matched up against McCullough. He'll kick it left. Jasinski through the lane. The scoop layup with the right hand won't go, but he got fouled. And Trevor will step to the free throw line. Trevor 1 of 2 from the line here tonight. First one is up and good. Jasinski on the year, shooting 81% from the stripe. That second shot goes. Here come the Nanooks back down the other way. They trail by 15. Left side, Lendway beyond the circle, goes cross court. The catch made here, Davis Kimball. Down to Cluting. To Kimball once again on the switch, working against Dickson. Back out McCullough, pump fakes on the 3. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Right side, change of hands, and the flip layup up and in for Trey Eisenhut, and he's fouled. He'll have an opportunity here at a three-point play. The junior out of Vancouver, Washington, the transfer from Portland Community College. Sion Rojas will check into the contest as Logan Schilder has picked up his third personal. But first, we'll have a media timeout. 15:55 left to go here in the ball game. Vikings out in front by 13 at 45-32. Back with more on Vikings TV.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay, get in the way, and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
.45-32 our score. It is a 13-point lead here for Western Washington University over Alaska Fairbanks. Vikings are led by the 12-point performances of Deandre Dickson and Dalton Hamas. Only one player in double figures for Fairbanks. That is Alex Baham. And he has an opportunity to go from 10 to 11 here with this free throw. And he does. Rojas to bring it up into the front court. The redshirt junior, the transfer out of Santa Rosa Junior College, out of Cerritos down in California. Bouncing into the defender and putting the shot up. Count it for Dalton Hamas. Hamas got hit in the side of the face. He's still holding on to his noggin here as he gets ready for a free throw shot. Cluding will pick up his 4th personal foul. You watch it here. Not sure, but Dalton kind of walking away and holding onto the left side of his face there, and it does not alter his shooting stroke as he nails that one. Substitutions as you see Cluding go to the bench. Donovan Wilder checking in. Through Petway, they'll leave it right-hand side. And now a foul off the ball. Lendway and Rojas jostling for position down along the baseline, and Sion will get nailed for it. Viking men are on the road to finish up the regular season. Huge game Thursday against the first place Western Oregon Wolves. Driving baseline, McCullough. He'll loop it back out. Lendway gets it. Back to McCullough once again. He'll drive left. Leave it top of the floor. Wilder going to force it down to the baseline. Backing, bumping, spinning past everybody that time, and getting it to go was Joe Lendway. Lendway cuts the lead down to 13. Rojas, right-hand side, Jasinski. Going to put it on the floor, and reaching in and fouling that time was Alex Baham. Mentioned the Vikings on the road. They are at Western Oregon Thursday, at Concordia on Saturday to wrap up the regular season. How good is Western Oregon? Well, 17 straight victories. They're 17-1 in the conference. Their lone loss, though, is to the Vikings here at Carver Gymnasium. And Western sure could use a big quality West Regional victory. The 3-ball right side up and down for Trevor Jasinski from the right wing. He hits the 3, pushes the lead back out to 16. McCullough going to work, wind to the free throw line, jumper up, rattles and rolls, it goes. 10 points now for McCullough, second player to double figures here for Alaska Fairbanks. Dickson, step back, splash. What do? You don't. You can't stop that. Deandre flips it up and in. He's got 14 in the ball game. They'll get it to McCullough at the right elbow. Lendway will leave it now here for the cutter, and a nice reverse layup up and in for Memphis Mitchell. As he puts it up and in, he's got 5 points in the contest. Down to the baseline. The catch made now here by Dickson, kind of backing his way down against Lendway. Turning, looking for some help. Flips it now here into the hands of Hamas. Dalton works left. Steps into the jumper. Bang! Dalton Hamas hits the 12-footer from the left side. It's 55-39. McCullough, Mitchell, Wilder now down inside the lane, back out on top. Some standing around now here by Fairbanks. Left side McCullough, 15 on the shot clock. He'll drive right. Mitchell had the look from long range, instead takes it inside the paint where he runs into 2 defenders. Ball gets knocked in the air, back the other way for the Vikings. Whipping the pass down inside the lane. Rojas too hard off of the arms and chest that time of Deandre Dickson. Back down the other way. The bounce pass will come left. Lendway. Get it to Wilder. Mitchell, lob it in Lendway once again. Cross court. McCullough, runner, baseline, goes. 55-41. McCullough with 12 points. He averages under 3 per contest. Rojas, a 3, no, off to the left. Rebound secured here by Fairbanks. Bounces it now to Lendway, well beyond the 3-point ring. Work it right-hand side, and the 3-ball up. That is short on the effort by Kimball, but it bounces back out to Fairbanks, and they'll reset. You can see Mick Durham, the head coach for Alaska Fairbanks, all the way down that sideline. Taking a long look here, hoping his team can turn things around as they trail now here by 14. Force pass down towards the lane, an overplay defensively, and a whistle here is going to go against Jasinski. Trevor will pick this one up, and it'll take us to a media timeout. 11 minutes, 43 seconds left to go in the ball game. Vikings out in front by 14. Back with more right here on Vikings TV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Plenty to cheer about here at Carver Gymnasium. 55-41. Vikings out in front by 14 over Alaska Fairbanks. Vikings looking to close out the home portion of the regular season with a win. Also looking for their 5th straight victory. They'll play the Oregon schools next week. It is the front end of our split doubleheader here today at Carver. Viking women, very tough test as they'll take on the second place team in the conference on a 10-game win streak, Northwest Nazarene. That one's scheduled for a 7 o'clock tip-off time. Off of the inbound, the drive right to left, and count the bucket and one for Davis Kimball. He'll go to the free throw line with a chance at a 3-point play. Nice drive there as he draws the body contact against Hamas and still maintains his balance to put it up and in. That free throw shot is up and good. Sideline left. Trey will work off of the screen. The 3-ball will not go for Trey. Nice screen that time set by Dickson, but Vikings come away with no points as it's up in the offensive end now here for Fairbanks. The drive left, off balance, looking like he traveled that time. Putting up the shot was Wilder, no good. He's out of the play back on the other end. It's 5-on-4. Dickson up and down. Just inside the free throw line, and he puts it up and home. 57-44 our score. Mitchell, well beyond the circle. Works it right, Lendway. Leave it for McCullough, has trouble tracking it down. Ball's going to get knocked loose. Spin it back left. The jumper up, Mitchell, no, won't go. Here comes Brad with the rebound. Wallace up into the front court. Leave it for Dickson. Left side, they'll kick it into the corner. Jasinski Back out. Hamas will set things up as they go back to Jasinski. Now they'll work it inside to Dickson. Dickson going to turn around, baseline jumper, no. Rebound will carry him out. Coming up on 10 minutes left to go in this one. Vikings have been in control throughout, 57-44. Between the wickets, McCullough. Wilder puts it on the floor, double team. He'll bounce it across the lane. The up fake, contact, and another block shot. Kimball got blocked by Dickson. Down to the corner, Trey. Inside, Deandre. Back out, Wallace. Jab step here by Dalton. Nothing doing. Leave it right in the drive. Jasinski goes down with a hard foul. In fact, he remains down, kind of blinking and grimacing a little bit as he gets help to his feet. And you watch Deandre, gave him the temple rub in case his noggin was hurting. You watch the contact there, and the foul will get whistled against Davis Kimball, his third. Inbound Trey. Back out top side from the free throw circle. It will not go for Hamas. Slowly up into the offensive end, McCullough. Little pump fake, nothing doing for Mitchell. Back around the ring. Mitchell with the jab step. He'll work off of the screen. They'll bounce it in left side. Wilder working against Trey. Threw it to nobody. Tracking it down, though, at half court. Mitchell, 3 seconds, 2 on the shot clock. Hangs in the air and somehow got it past Deandre for the bucket. That was quite a shot by Mitchell. 57-46. Lead sits at 11, has been as high as 17 in this contest for the Vikings. Deandre looking to get it in down low, and we'll have a whistle off the ball. Watch this drive. Mitchell with the shot clock winding down goes up and somehow got it past the elastic arms of Deandre Dickson. Dickson will get it. He'll drive baseline, reverse it. No, it won't go. The rebound followed by Wallace. That one's just short as well. Mitchell will bring it up into the offensive end now here for Alaska Fairbanks. Bounce it to Cluting, back out there with the 4 personals. Mitchell works off the screen, back left side, the long jumper up. No, that's short on the effort by Wilder. Here comes Trey, back the other way. Leave it for Hamas. Dalton puts it on the floor, goes baseline. Got the contact. As soon as he heard the whistle, just heaved it towards the bucket. It won't come close, but he'll go to the free throw line. You watch Hamas there. You see him get the bump, and you could hear him. You could see him acknowledge hearing that whistle, and just flipped it back towards the bucket. 7th team foul. And that one is up and in. So by the movement on the line there, they didn't call it on the shot. So he does hit the front end of the 1-and-1, so it doesn't matter. Second one, that is up and good. Dalton now 4 of 4 from the free throw line here tonight. Vikings push the lead back out to 13. It has hovered right around that mark for much of this second half. Long jumper up right side, just kind of yo-yoing into one was Mitchell. He missed it, the put back, and we're going to have a foul. And if this is against Cluting, he's done. Michael Cluting will foul out of the contest, talking in the general direction of nobody as he walks back towards the bench. We'll have a media timeout. Vikings out in front by 13 over Alaska Fairbanks. Back with more right here on Vikings TV.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub. with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
And you can see a couple of members of the Western Washington University women's team taking in the men's game here. 59-46, Viking men lead it over Alaska Fairbanks. The women will be in action in the nightcap, a split doubleheader. They will take on Northwest Nazarene coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. Northwest Nazarene, second place team in the conference, only 3 losses all season long, and they're riding a 10-game win streak. Tough sledding coming up, but Vikings have been playing hot down the stretch. Nice shot by Trey Drexel off of the timeout. Pushes the lead out to 15. McCullough towards the lane, back out left. The long 3 won't go on the effort by Lendway. Back down, Wallace on the hard push through the lane. Ball knocked loose, stolen by McCullough. One-on-one against Jasinski. He'll stop. Look for some help, feed it right, back to McCullough, he'll take a deep 3, no, won't go. Rebound tipped, grabbed off, Lutens will get it, they'll get it right back to him, and he'll put it up and in. Up and in for Dalton Lutens, the junior forward out of Linden, the transfer out of Whatcom Community College. Played the same time at Whatcom along with, I do believe, with Logan Schilder. The jumper up by Dickson. That one won't go. Rebound on the weak side. Pulled down by Eisenhut. Ball dumped around the circle, left side. The step back jumper, and it's good. Count it for Alex Bayham. And suddenly the lead is just 10. McCullough clapping his hands here as Trey brings it up on the offensive end. Hamas sealed off along the baseline. Back out to Trey. Trey will cut down inside the lane, hang in the air, kiss it off of the glass. Trey with a beautiful drive to the bucket. Give him 7 in the contest. Coming up on 6 minutes left to go here in the ball game. 63-51, Western leads it. Beyond the circle, Eisenhut leave it now here on a bounce for Bayham to McCullough. Eisenhut beyond the 3-point ring, inside, back out left. Long 3 ball will not go for Luton's. Rebound is going to be grabbed off here by the Vikings. And now the Vikings will set things up. Trey going to work against McCullough. Steps into a 3. No, it won't go. Rebound grabbed off by Eisenhut. Here comes McCullough. Winding right. Leave it left now here for McCullough. Eisenhut going to work against Trey. Now on the switch. Picked up by Jasinski. He'll drive. Get down inside the lane. Lost control of it. He fell down. Traveled. Turn it over. Vikings going to make a change here. In fact, they'll make 2. Logan Schilder will come in. Tyler Payne will check in. To the bench. And now Brett Kingma will check into the contest. So to the bench, we will see Dickson, Wallace, and Drexel. 2 that stay out there are Hamas and Jasinski. Get it to Jasinski. He'll drive baseline. The lob, and he dunks it down on the flip up to Schilder. Beautiful 2-man game like peanut butter and jelly out there. 65-51. Ball goes top of the floor. Right side on the catch. Kimball. Left side. They attack baseline, the reverse, tip from behind on the block, that time by Schilder. Step back, the three, that one will not go on the effort by Bayham. Back down, Tyler Payne, he'll slow it down. Jasinski a three, got it! Trevor Jasinski with a big bust on the right side, so a lead that was down to 10 has blossomed out to 17. Coming up on 4 minutes left to go here in the contest. McDurham will call a timeout with 4:02 left to play. Vikings now up 68-51. We'll take a break as you watch the nice lob to Schilder for the dunk. All here on Vikings TV. Welcome back, 68-51 our score. Trevor Jasinski with a couple of big plays. First, the lob feed to Logan Schilder for the dunk, and then the big three ball for Trevor right here, right in front of the Western bench, and he rolls it home. 12 points for Trevor. 3 of 3 shooting from the floor. Perfect, all 3 of those shots coming from beyond the arc. 68-51. They changed this timeout. It started off as a short 30-second timeout. They turned it into a full with 4:02 left to go. We will remind you there is a second game. No, not right after this one. There's little time in between. 7 o'clock the scheduled tip-off. Western women, who right now have the 6th and final playoff spot for the GNAC Championship. The top 5 have already been locked in. Western women with a game-and-a-half lead over Concordia for that 6th and final spot, but they have a tough road to go here in their final 3 games. They'll take on NNU tonight at 7 o'clock. Second place team in the conference, 10-game win streak, only 3 losses all year. Then they've got to travel to one of their top rivals in Simon Fraser University on Tuesday. They'll close out the season next Thursday here at home against Montana State Billings. Back to the action here. The inbound will come to McCullough. Top of the floor working against Payne. Left side cutting through the paint. The baseline pass, the step back jumper. That one won't go on the effort that time by Lendway. Fairbanks is led by the 14 of Bayham, 12 for McCullough. Vikings are led by the 19 of Dalton Hamas. Right side, Jasinski. Trevor going to step back against the defender and nail it. And Trevor's feeling it. He's had a roll in the last 3 buckets here for the Vikings. Makes it 70-51. A 9-0 run for the Vikings. Now the quick drive. Oh my, how did McCullough get that past Logan Schilder? That was the tall and the short of it there. As McCullough at 5'9" flashed through the lane and flipped it up and in on the reverse past the 7-footer Logan Schilder. The weave on top. Payne with it. Jab step, nothing doing there. He'll leave it top of the floor. The drive, the flip, and we'll get an offensive foul here. Or no. Nope. 25. Okay. Initially, the official flashed 35, but nope, it is 25. So indeed, Dalton Hamas picked up his 4th personal foul. So you watch the contact down inside the lane, and Dalton saying, hey, he got me on the arm before there was any contact, but nonetheless, Hamas to the bench. Brad Wallace back out there on the floor. With the dribble, a little crossover. Kimball gets down inside the paint, flips one up and in. Lead is 15, coming up on 2.5 to go. Working off of the screen. Payne will step into a triple. No, it won't go. Rolls to the left. It's grabbed off by Kimball. He'll step back, take a three, and that one hits the bottom of the net, and I don't mean it in a good way. No rim on that. Blake Fernandez going to check in here with just under 2 minutes left to go here at the next dead ball. Right side, Kingma works off the screen. Brett will flip it back out on top. Payne with it, retreats to the top of the floor, works left. Get it to Wallace. The drive, the hang, the shot, it won't go. Rebound to Alaska Fairbanks. This one's going to go into the win column for the Vikings. Another much needed one here. They're going to go to 20 wins on the season. The long jumper up by Lendway, and he gets the three ball to fall. Lead cut down to 12. Yo-yoed here. Shoveled back out on top. Kingma will leave it now here on a bounce. To Payne. Down to a minute left to go. He'll whip it right side. Wallace, the long jumper. No, it won't go. Shoulder the tip. No. Rebound grabbed off by Fairbanks. Fernandez will come back to the bench. 45 seconds left to go. Between the wickets now here. And we'll have a foul stopping the clock. Just 39.7 seconds left. 70-58 our score. The 8th team foul here against the Vikings, so free throw shots upcoming. Davis Kimball at the line. Workmanlike effort here for the Vikings. Slow down pace in that first half. They were well versed on it. Dealt with it all game long in a 10-point victory over Alaska Anchorage on Thursday. And now, going to put this one into the win column as well. Got both free throws. The lead sits at 10. Payne will just work with it, top of the floor. $15 on the shot clock, 24 on the game clock. He'll wind right. Going to work off of a screen by Schilder. Takes the long jumper, it won't go. Rebound caroms into the corner. Wallace will get it. And the Vikings don't have to do anything but dribble out the clock. This one's going to go final. Your final 5 seconds here. Vikings going to win it. It will be their 4th in a row as they win it 70-60 here today over Alaska Fairbanks on Senior Day. Vikings improve to 20-6 on the year, 15-3 in conference play, and they win their 5th straight. We'll take a timeout, come back with the post-game show right here on Vikings TV.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay, get in the way, and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Carver Gymnasium. It's a 10-point victory here for the Vikings as they down Alaska Fairbanks 70-60. Vikings improve to 20 wins against just 6 losses overall, 15-3 in conference play, and they win their 5th straight. We await the head coach for the Vikings, Tony Dominguez, and also hopefully getting the leading scorer, Dalton Hummus, as they are off in the locker room and gave a big wave to the fan base here as this is the final home game for the Viking men. They will play next week against the Oregon schools. Let's take a look at some of the numbers in this contest. For Western, they end up shooting 47% from the floor, 25 of 53. They go 8 of 23 from beyond the arc, 34%. And for the game, they're 12 of 16, 75%. Take a look at some of the highlights in this one. Alaska Fairbanks, 40% shooting, 24 of 60. They go 7 of 28 from beyond the arc, 25%, and they're 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Rebounds, 35-31 advantage Western. 9-8 on the offensive glass, advantage Alaska Fairbanks. Assists and turnovers, Vikings 9-9. For Alaska Fairbanks, 9-10, just a little bit upside down. Points off of those turnovers favor the Vikings, 14-6. Points in the paint, big advantage here for Alaska Fairbanks, surprisingly, 32-18 in the ball game. Points off of the bench, Fairbanks 21-5. Blocks and steals, 5-1 for the Vikings. No blocks, 3 steals for Alaska Fairbanks. Individual numbers, 19 points for Dalton Hummus on 6 of 11 shooting. 16 for Deandre Dickson. He has 6 rebounds. 14 for Trevor Jasinski. 9 in the ball game for Logan Schilder. 7 for Trey Drexel. 3 for Brett Kingma, and 2 for Brad Wallace. We'll take a look at the individual numbers for Alaska Fairbanks in just a moment, but first we are joined courtside by the head coach here for the Vikings. That is Tony Dominguez. A 10-point victory, 5th in a row for the Vikings. And Coach, your thoughts on a game that kind of started in that same slow-down style that we saw on Thursday night, tested your guys defensively, and they really controlled this one for the most part throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, you just stated it. I thought we did a good job of being mentally focused in the first half. I think what our guys tend to do is when we get a big lead like that, we're just trying to get the game over with, and and they're trying to make their push. And so there's a lot of, the word I always use is disjointedness in the first, the beginning of the second half. But other than that, I think they did a really good job.
You get 19 points from Dalton, 16 from Deandre, 14 from Trevor. Trevor didn't miss out there on the floor. And in fact, Trevor came up big with a couple of huge buckets, either setting up Logan for that dunk, the 3-ball, a deuce along the baseline at a time when they had whittled that lead down to 10. He came up big after getting injured on Thursday wearing that brace. He's back out here to play.
Yeah, I mean, he did a fabulous job on offense, but with that ankle, he was playing some pretty good defense. It's just tough to chase guys around when you're hurting. But he gives it everything he has, and he's a total team guy.
Coach, you've talked about defense the last couple of times we've chatted here. You know that this team can score. What do you think of your defensive performances here over the last couple of games? 56 points against Alaska Anchorage, 60 here tonight.
Very excited about that. That's not where we were at 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever that was. Let's not remember that time. But it also helps you remember what we need to work on as a group. And that's where this team is we need to just continue to work on defense, because offensively we'll hit it. When we play those fast break up and down teams like Western Oregon, I'm sure that'll be a totally different feel on Thursday, but because of their style. But I thought we did a good job of adjusting.
Coach, is that more of a mental thing with your group? Because obviously they have the skill. What is
Yes.
that? Is that
It's
just
mental.
about focus?
It's mental. They're very talented, and they know that. And I think it's hard when they get a big lead, because now we've talked about this before. It's something I don't know how to change in a game unless you sub. But once we get that big lead, we don't coast, but it's just a mentality that we're okay, we're good. And it's like, no, we got to continue to be intense and after it. And I think for the most part they've done a really good job of that. Obviously I'm being a perfectionist, I'm being a coach, and so you want it all 40 minutes. But shoot, 20 wins. Great job, guys.
20 wins, outstanding, as you rip off 5 here in a row, and now it's the Oregon schools. And yes, you know you're locked into a GNAC spot in the championships, but you and I both know, taking a look at those West Regional rankings, a big quality victory would be huge. You're the only ones to hand Western Oregon a loss. Very tough task to try and do it down in Monmouth.
Yeah, that's our journey. Our journey is one game at a time. We were surprisingly not even in the top 10 in the region, and I feel like we are a top 10 team. But that's our journey, and so our guys need to know that, and they need to be hungry. And so, yes, that game on Thursday is huge, but it would be huge no matter who we play because we're trying to creep into that, that playoff scenario. And Division II has got a really wacky style of playoff situations, and I don't really want to get into it, but it's very difficult to get into that tournament as a GNAC team. So we just need to worry about one game at a time and not all that other stuff, because if we're winning, we'll be where we want to be.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Best of luck next week.
Appreciate it.
There you have it. Head man for the Vikings, that is Tony Dominguez. His troops win it here tonight, 70-60 over the Nanooks of Alaska Fairbanks. And are we going to get an opportunity here to get Dalton Hummus? I have no idea if that has been secured. So at this point, I don't see Dalton making his way over here. Now he is. There we go. And we'll get the headphones on here for Dalton, as he ends up with a game-high 19 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from long range, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 30 minutes played out there. And Dalton joins us. Dalton, your thoughts on these last 2 games that have been more kind of grind-it, defensive-style games against the Alaska schools. And that's something the coach just talked about, that you guys are going to score. If the defense is there, you guys are pretty unstoppable.
Yeah, we just wanted to finish off our home game strong, and now we're back on the road for our last 2 games, and we're really excited, and then to go to Anchorage for the conference tournament.
Dalton, what is the urgency? Because Coach talked to me about it earlier in the week. He said, you know what, when those regional rankings came out, we found out we're not in there despite being second in the conference. We're the team that knocked off Western Oregon. There's got to be an urgency right now here, especially next week against Western Oregon, to go get a nice quality victory on the road.
Yeah, when those regional rankings came out, it just made us really hungry and realized we had a lot of work to do.
Let me ask you about what it's like here to get a win here for the Final Four. Outgoing seniors, a nice packed house here today. It's tough not to know you're not coming back here this year, but it was nice to end it on a high note.
Yeah, and we just got news that we're hosting it, the conference tournament next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're really excited about that as well.
Dalton, before we let you go here, Western Oregon, you beat them once. What stands out against taking on this team that is so red hot and top of the conference?
We just got to be on top of our game defensively. They have a lot of good players that can score, and they play a lot of guys. So we just got to be ready to take on whatever they give us.
Dalton, congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
There you have it. Dalton Hummus, 19 points, a game-high performance here for the forward on, once again, 6 of 11 shooting, 2 of 4 from long range, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, as the Vikings win it 70-60 over Alaska Fairbanks. Quick rundown of the numbers for Fairbanks before we put a wrap on things here on the postgame show. The Nanooks are led by the 14 points apiece of Alex Baham and Jalen McCullough. Elsewhere, no other double-figure scores. 7 points apiece for Amenephis Mitchell, as well as Davis Kimball. 6 points in the ball game for Michael Cluting. 5 points apiece for Joe Lendway and LaDonovan Wilder. And it's 2 points for Dalton Lutens, leading the way in rebounding. 5 for Michael Cluting before he ends up fouling out with just 18 minutes played. And leading the way in assists was Joe Lendway with 4 in the ball game. This was a contest that was tied just once. Vikings held the lead for 38 minutes, 23 seconds of this ball game. No lead ever in the contest for Alaska Fairbanks. Western's largest lead was 19, and they win it here tonight by 10. Vikings rack up the win, 20-6 on the season, 15-3 in the conference, and now after closing down the regular season here at home at Carver, they will hit the road. They will go and play Western Oregon on Thursday down in Monmouth, and then wrap up the regular season Saturday against Concordia, looking to knock off Western Oregon again, the only team that has done it so far this season. We're not done with basketball. Yes, we've got a break in between, but there is a nightcap game. The Western women will be in action the second half of our doubleheader. The Western women, they've got a tough task in front of them as they have won 5 of their last 6, but they'll take on a Northwest Nazarene team that has only 3 losses all year long. They're riding a 10-game win streak, and they beat the Vikings by 20 earlier this year. That game is coming up tonight, 7 o'clock the scheduled tip-off time, and we'll hope to have you either here at Carver Gymnasium or watching it all on Vikings TV. You can do that at www.vikings.com/live, or you can stream it all on YouTube, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or Android TV. That is Vikings TV. We'll talk to you again in a couple of hours. The Western men a winner, 70-60 over Alaska Fairbanks. Western women against Northwest Nazarene coming up at 7 o'clock. I'm Doug Lang. Thanks for watching on Vikings TV. Go Vikes.